one of the better first dates I've been on involved an abandoned insane asylum. This girl I went to college with somehow convinced me to go to this old hospital on Roosevelt Island, which is an island between Manhattan and Queens, I want to say. And we like traipsed around behind the fences and through this pile of rubble with 4 walls around it and rusted pipes slanting up and everything. And she took all these pictures, and then she realized that her camera had no film in it. So there's no documentation. So you can believe that story. It was strangely romantic. Sometimes who you are is enough, but not as ink by the man you love to men who hate you flourishes across their letters. A trash can's rust murmuring through the razor-crazed dawns, a lapse both his and yours. Sometimes who you are is enough, and threats slur against memory, an empty pistol, a liquored street cross-hatched by a younger decade, your heart the powder at last, an ending his and. Sometimes who you are is enough, but not as ink and threats slur by the man you love against memory to men who hate you, an empty pistol flourishing across a liquored street, their letters cross-hatched by a trash can's rust, a younger decade murmuring through your heart, the razor, the powder-crazed dawns, at last a lapse, an ending, both his and yours. This poem is part of a series of poems that I've written over the last couple of years in the voices of sort of fictional, closeted queer mafiosos with their lovers. So I'm not going to read the whole series, but that might help to put this in context. Even now, the affair over, the church empty, I cannot do a thing but tear off this Italian suit and rage at all the vain accoutrement of love my Luciano gave to her. Nights out on the town he charmed, small gifts at prices she never guessed, a diamond she still wears on her finger, a child who still wears his face. But did she answer the voice of his blood, the voice singing under his shirt for a supplicant to worship the brutal fact of his body, to beg from him a carnal grace? I knew the talk on every corner's sideways mouth. Serafino washed his bloody hands in wine and toweled off with $100 bills. But every night he prayed and hollered in my arms. I knew he came to me for more than he could bear. I bathed him in my impure mouth. I held his stone of grief, his stone of fury, until his sweat confessed. Rougher each time he touched me, I wept and bruised. He smeared his spit across my boyish face. Desire will bury a man easy as money. But my arms made a ring around his neck so perfect, I used to think God must have measured us for each other with his own seamstress tape. I nearly crawled into the coffin to wrap my arms around his corpse, but no one knew me in that church. And if they had known, those men would have buried us years ago. How am I doing for time? 2 more, 3 more?
Yeah, 2 or 3 is okay. Yeah,
Okay.
you're fine.
It's really nice to be here in this space with all of these beautiful things on the walls and all of you people listening. It's a privilege. This is a poem that I wrote in some way for my students at a LGBT senior center that I used to teach at. I taught a creative writing course. This is for them. If this plush fruit stopped falling, a few worms already gorging on the meat within each apple's firm red shine, if your hands didn't catch them, couldn't lift their necessary weight from the ground, if your back bent so low, so often through the daily labor of rising into an orchard of fists, of clutch and blossom, of the 5 soft petals not yet ready to drop from your hand, what meaning would remain in the riot of your blood, in the 1,000 tides of tart sugar still lodging as ghosts in the dead buds on your tongue, in the saplings sprouting through the weak wind of your breath, in the lone seed your finger presses through the earth's hard, dark teeth into its greedy, so nearly known throat. That was one of the best things I've ever done for my writing, is just sitting down with that group of people once or twice a week to write and talk. I learned a hell of a lot from that. And there was a ghost around. Ghosts. What are you thinking? I ask. And he says, I think you're leaving me. And I say, that is manipulative. We're not talking about love, but power play and where it doesn't end. I keep thinking you will stay, reader, if I leave out the parts he calls ponderous. What we need is not a safe word, but a cartography of triggers and the havens we make of each other's clavicles. I need you to know the highways that stretch from Columbus to Brooklyn, the Greyhound's fluorescent dawn, how many times we've each written this ending. He needs to know that when I say stop, I often mean harder, and you need to know that in fantasies, I only confess to what I haven't done. That's why I've left out the argument's entrails, every imagined crime, what might be the last time I say no, when we both understand the answer is yes.